Every little comment, every minor setback, if it all gets under your skin, you're giving away your power. But what if you didn't? What if you could walk through life without being shaken? Without being thrown off balance by the noise around? You imagine having a mind so steady that no insult, no rejection, no unexpected failure could ever rattle. In this video, I will teach you the power of becoming unshakable, not because you never face challenges, but because you master how you respond to them. Emotional control is not the absence of emotions, it is the mastery of them. It is the ability to stand tall while the storms of life rage around you, unshaken, unyielding. Imagine a mountain, proud, strong, timeless. No matter how fierce the winds howl, no matter how dark the skies grow, it stands. It does not fight the storm. It simply exists, steady, unmoved. That mountain can be you. But in a world where everything tries to pull you in 1,000 directions, criticisms, disappointments, betrayals, how do you become that mountain? How do you become unshakable? It begins with a choice, the choice of what deserves your energy. Because not everything does. Someone criticizes you. It is their perception, not your truth. A setback knocks at your door. It is a lesson in disguise, not a defeat. Someone betrays you. It is a reflection of their character, not your worth. Life will always test you, but it is not the test that defines you. It is your response. Because here is the truth most will never understand. The greatest power you will ever possess is not control over others. It is control over yourself. I remember a story. A wise monk once sat by a river, silently meditating. A young man, angry at his own life, began shouting insults at the monk, hurling every hateful word he could imagine. But the monk said nothing. He did not even look at the man. After hours of rage, the young man finally stopped, exhausted. He asked, "Why won't you respond? Why don't you defend yourself?" The monk smiled gently. If someone offers you a gift, and you refuse to accept it, to whom does the gift belong? The young man was stunned. He left in silence, for he had just learned that true power is not in winning arguments, but in choosing which battles are worth fighting. This is emotional control, understanding that not every word deserves your response. Not every insult deserves your energy. Not every problem deserves your peace. Because when you waste energy on meaningless battles, you are stealing from yourself. You are spending your power on those who never deserved it. True strength is in walking away. It is in remaining calm when others panic. It is in staying silent when words will only fan the flames. It is in rising above, not in proving yourself to those who do not matter. So tell me, when life pushes you, will you push back? Or will you stand like the mountain? Will you give your peace to those who bring you chaos? Or will you guard it like the precious treasure it is? Remember this, emotional control is not weakness. It is the highest form of strength. It is not avoidance. It is wisdom. It is the power to choose your battles, the power to protect your inner peace, the power to remain unshakable. There is a story that must be told, a story of a man who understood the true power of emotional control. His name was Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi was not born a saint. He was not born immune to anger, fear, or pain. He was human, just like you and me. But what made him extraordinary was his unshakable calm, his ability to master his emotions even in the face of hatred, violence, and humiliation. Picture this, a crowded street in India, a sea of angry protesters demanding freedom, and the oppressive force of the British colonial police standing against them. Among the chaos, Gandhi stood, his thin frame draped in a simple white cloth, his face serene. The British officer, frustrated and angry at the defiance of the protesters, approached Gandhi. Without warning, he struck Gandhi across the face. The force of the blow echoed in the tense cells. The crowd gasped, the tension thick enough to cut with a knife. But Gandhi did not retaliate. He did not shout. He did not even step back. Instead, he did something that would forever be remembered. He smiled. That smile was not an act of cowardice. It was not a sign of weakness. It was the embodiment of strength, for in that moment, Gandhi showed that true power is not in physical strength, but in the mastery of one's mind. "Thank you," he said, his voice calm, his eyes full of understanding. "You have shown me that even in your hatred, I can remain in peace." The officer was stunned. How do you fight someone who refuses to fight back? How do you defeat someone who is unshakable? But this was not the only time Gandhi demonstrated his mastery of emotional control. Once, while leading a peaceful protest, his followers were beaten by the British soldiers. Blood stained the earth. Men fell to the ground. But Gandhi stood there, calm, his voice steady. "Do not fight back." He told them, their violence is a reflection of their weakness. Our peace is our strength. This was his philosophy, an unyielding belief that emotional control was not just a practice, but a weapon. A weapon more powerful than any sword or gun. And Gandhi's power did not come from suppressing his emotions. No, it came from understanding them, from choosing which emotions deserved his energy and which did not. Imagine the power of such mastery. To stand calm in the face of hatred, to smile in the face of insults, to remain peaceful in the midst of chaos. This is not the absence of feeling. It is the height of courage. But this is not just a story from history. It is a lesson for your life. Every day, you are tested. Criticized by those who do not understand you, judged by those who cannot see your worth, provoked by those who seek to pull you down. But you have a choice. Will you be like the raging storm, tossed round by every emotion, every word, or will you be like Gandhi, unmoved and shakeable? Because when you master your emotions, you take away the power of those who wish to hurt you. You become a force that cannot be defeated. Gandhi's calm was not his weakness. It was his shield. His silence was not his surrender. It was his strength. His refusal to hate those who hated him was not his defeat. It was his victory. So ask yourself, when life strikes you, will you strike back or will you stand calm, smiling, victorious? Because true strength is not in how hard you hit, but in how you choose not to be hurt. Power is a curious thing. Most people spend their entire lives trying to gain it, in their careers, in their relationships, in the eyes of others. But what they do not realize is that they are constantly giving it away. Every time you react emotionally to a negative comment, you give away your power. Every time you let someone else's words disturb your peace, you become their puppet. They pull the strings, and you dance. Think about this. You are having a great day. You feel confident. You feel strong. But then, someone says something cruel, a passing insult, a criticism. Suddenly, your mood darkens. You are upset, angry. Your happiness is gone. But why? Because you have allowed someone else to dictate how you feel. This is how you give away your power, by letting others control your emotions. But what if I told you that you can take that power back? That you can become the one who pulls the strings, not the one being pulled. It is not about becoming emotionless. It is about choosing where you spend your emotional energy. I remember a story of an old master who was known for his wisdom and his unshakable calm. One day, a young, arrogant warrior came to challenge him. This young man was known for his skill with the sword, but he was also known for his anger. He would provoke his opponents, insult them, humiliate them, until they lost control, and once they were consumed by rage, he would easily defeat them. He stood before the old master, shouting insults, marking his age, his appearance, his wisdom. He threw dust at him, spit at his feet. But the master said nothing. He stood there, calm, smiling. Hours passed, and the young man grew tired. Finally, he left, defeated not by the master's sword, but by his own anger. The master's students, who had been watching, asked, "Master, how could you endure such disrespect? Why did you not fight back?" The master smiled. "If someone offers you a gift, but you refuse to accept it, to whom does the gift belong? Do you understand now? Your reaction is your gift, your energy, your attention. These are your most precious treasures. But when you give them to those who seek to hurt you, you are handing them your power. And this is not just about insults or criticism. This is about everything in your life. Every time you allow a minor inconvenience to ruin your day, you are giving away your power. Every time you let the opinions of others control your decisions, you are giving away your power. But you can take it back. You can choose to be the master of your own mind, the calm within the storm, the mountain that stands unshaken. While the winds rage around it, this is not weakness. This is strength, because true strength is not in controlling others. It is in controlling yourself. So how do you take back your power? Start by asking yourself, is this worth my energy? Is this worth my peace? Because most of the time, the answer is no. Someone insults you. Smile. They are revealing their character, not yours. Someone criticizes you. Listen only if it will help you grow. Otherwise, let it pass like the wind. You are stuck in traffic. Use that time to breathe, to reflect, to appreciate that you have a moment of peace in a busy world. A friend betrays you. Understand that their actions reflect who they are, not who you are. Your value is not diminished by the mistakes of others. This is emotional intelligence. This is power. The ability to remain calm. The ability to choose your battles. The ability to walk away without losing your peace. Because the world is full of those who will try to steal your power. The critic, the betrayer, the manipulator, the stranger who cuts you off in traffic. But they only have the power you choose to give them. So guard your peace like a treasure. Choose your battles wisely. Stand like the mountain, calm and shaken. Because in the end, the only one who can give away your power is you. Mastering emotional control is not just a theory. It is a practice. It is not enough to know it. You must live it. You must cultivate the mind of steel, a mind that cannot be broken, no matter what life throws at it. But how do you achieve this? How do you become the calm in the chaos? How do you become the master of your own emotions? It begins with one simple, yet powerful habit. Pause before reacting. Most people react without thinking. An insult, they snap back. A problem, they panic. But you will be different. Whenever something triggers you, pause. Do not react immediately. Take a deep breath. Count to 3. Ask yourself, does this really matter? Will this matter in 5 minutes, in 5 hours, in 5 years? Because most of the time, the answer is no. Think about this. You are driving and someone cuts you off. Your heart races. Your hands tighten on the wheel. You want to shout, to honk, to teach them a lesson. But what do you gain? Nothing. What do you lose? Your peace instead. Pause, breathe, let it go. Because when you choose not to react, you choose your own peace over someone else's chaos. This is not weakness. This is power. The power of choosing what deserves your energy. The second step is to reframe your thoughts. Understand this. Most problems are temporary. Most pains will fade. Most worries will disappear. But when you give them too much of your energy, you make them permanent, a missed opportunity. It is not a failure. It is a lesson, a rejection. It is not a judgment of your worth. It is a redirection, a betrayal. It is not a reflection of you. It is a revelation of who they are. So every time you face a problem, ask yourself, how can I reframe this? How can I turn this setback into a stepping stone? Remember the story of Thomas Edison, when his laboratory burned down, destroying years of his work. He did not cry. He did not curse his fate. Instead, he told his son, "Thank God all our mistakes have burned away. We can start anew." This is the power of reframing, seeing light in the darkness, turning pain into strength. But this is not enough, because even with the strongest mindset, life will test you. You will fail, you will fall, and this is where the third step becomes critical. Learn from failures. Don't dwell on them. There is a story of a young athlete who trained for years, dreaming of winning the championship. But on the day of the final race, he stumbled and fell. His dream shattered in an instant. He could have given up. He could have let that failure define him. But he didn't. Instead, he got back up. He trained harder. He learned from his mistakes. And the next year, he became the champion. This is the truth. The strongest people are not those who never fall. They are those who rise every time they do. But there is one more step. The most powerful, the most transformative. Practice gratitude. In a world that is constantly telling you to want more, to do more, to be more, you must learn to pause and appreciate what you already have. Gratitude is not just a feeling. It is a mindset. It is the ability to see the beauty in the ordinary, the gift in every challenge, the lesson in every failure. When you wake up, instead of thinking of what you lack, think of what you have. A roof over your head, food to eat, people who care about you, the strength to try again. Gratitude is the antidote to frustration. It is the light that pierces through darkness. It is the reminder that no matter what happens, you are blessed. So how do you cultivate the mind of steel? Pause before reacting. Protect your peace. Reframe your thoughts. Turn pain into power. Learn from failures. Rise every time you fall. Practice gratitude. See the beauty in every moment. These are not just ideas. These are tools, weapons, you can use to protect your peace, to guard your mind, to become unshakable. Because in the end, life will always test you, but with a mind of steel, you will not break, you will not bend, you will rise. Greatness is not given, it is earned. It is not a gift, it is a choice, and few people in history have embodied this truth better than Michael Jordan today. The world remembers him as the greatest basketball player of all time, a legend who conquered the NBA, a man who redefined the meaning of excellence. But what most people do not see is the struggle behind the greatness, the failures, the pain, the moments when giving up would have been the easier choice. Michael Jordan's journey to greatness did not begin in glory. It began in heartbreak. He was just a high school student with a dream of making the varsity basketball team. But when the team list was posted, his name was not there. He had been cut. Imagine that moment, a young boy full of hope, staring at a list of names, searching for his own, and finding nothing. The pain of rejection, the sting of failure. Most would have walked away, most would have given up, but not Jordan. That moment did not break him. It built him. It did not defeat him. It defined him. Instead of giving in to self-pity, Jordan made a decision. He chose to use that pain as fuel every day after school. While others were having fun, he was on the court practicing, dribbling, shooting, running, sweat pouring down, his face, tears burning in his eyes. But he did not stop. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, Jordan would later say, and that is why I succeed. Failure was not his enemy. It was his teacher. Rejection was not his defeat. It was his motivation. By the time the next season came, Jordan had transformed. His skills had grown. His determination had hardened, and he earned his place on the team. But he did not stop there. That fire, that hunger, it never left him, even when he became a star, even when he won championships, even when the world called him the greatest. Jordan's mindset remained the same. He understood that greatness is not a destination. It is a journey defined by how you respond to failure. There's another story. In the 1995 NBA playoffs, after returning to the sport from a brief retirement, Jordan and the Chicago Bulls lost to the Orlando Magic. For many, it seemed like the end of his greatness. Critics said he was too old, that he had lost his touch. But once again, Jordan refused to accept defeat. That summer, while others rested, he trained harder than ever. Early mornings in the gym, late nights on the court, he sharpened his skills, rebuilt his strength, reignited his passion. And the next year, he returned stronger, leading the Bulls to one of the greatest seasons in NBA history, 72 wins, an NBA championship, and Jordan crowned Finals MVP. This is the mindset of greatness, the mindset that turns setbacks into comebacks, the mindset that sees failure not as an end, but as a beginning. But understand this, Jordan's greatness was not just in his skill, it was in his mind. It was in his ability to control his emotions, to transform pain into power, to turn rejection into resilience. So ask yourself, when life cuts you, will you give up? When you fail, will you let it define you, or will you rise? Like Jordan, using your setbacks as the fuel for your success. Because the truth is, greatness is not about being perfect. It is not about never falling. It is about refusing to stay down. It is about using every defeat, every insult, every rejection as a stepping stone toward your own greatness. If Michael Jordan had given up after being cut from his high school team, the world would never have known his name. But he didn't give up, and neither should you. Greatness is a choice. Make it yours. Silence. It is the most underestimated power in the world. A power that most people never learn to use. A weapon that can win battles without a single word. We live in a world that is always talking. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone has something to say. People shout to be heard. They argue. They insult. They provoke, all in a desperate attempt to prove themselves. But true strength is not found in the loudest voice. It is found in the one who can remain silent. Silence is not the absence of words. It is the presence of control. It is the decision to choose your battles, to conserve your energy, to guard your peace. There's a story of a great samurai who was once challenged to a duel by a brash young warrior. The young man insulted him, mocked him, spat at him, trying to provoke him. But the old samurai stood there, silent, calm, and shaken. The young warrior grew frustrated. His insults became louder. His anger became fiercer. But the samurai did nothing. He did not even draw his sword. Finally, the young warrior, exhausted and humiliated, left. The samurai students, who had been watching, asked, "Master, why did you not fight? Why did you not defend your honor?" The samurai smiled. When someone offers you a gift of anger, and you do not accept it, to whom does the gift belong? Silence is not a weakness. It is a strength. It is a declaration of your self-control, a statement of your power. Because the moment you engage in an argument with a fool, you become one yourself. But silence is not just for dealing with others. It is a tool you must use with yourself. When life is loud, when your mind is filled with chaos, when worries shout and doubts scream, silence is your sanctuary. Take a moment to be still, to breathe, to listen not to the noise of the world, but to the voice within you. In those quiet moments, you will find clarity. In those silent pauses, you will hear the answers you have been searching for. And do not mistake silence for surrender. Sometimes the greatest warriors are the ones who do not speak. Sometimes the strongest response is no response at all. Think of the world's greatest leaders, the ones who changed history. They were not the loudest. They were the wisest. They understood that words are not always necessary, that silence can speak louder than any argument. When Gandhi led the Salt March in India, thousands followed him in silence. No shouts, no chaos, just a silent and yielding force that shook an empire. His silence was his strength, his calm was his weapon. And what about you? When someone insults you, do you react? Do you shout back? Do you waste your energy trying to prove yourself to those who do not matter? Or do you remain calm? Do you let your silence speak? Do you let your actions be your voice? Because the truth is, most of the time, the words you do not say are more powerful than the ones you do. The arguments you do not engage in, the insults you do not respond to, the chaos you do not allow into your mind. These are your true victories. So the next time someone tries to provoke you, remember the power of silence. The next time life overwhelms you, remember that peace is found in stillness. The next time your mind is filled with doubt, choose quiet over chaos. Silence is your shield. It is your sword. It is your sanctuary. But most importantly, silence is a choice. Your choice. So choose wisely. Your peace is sacred. It is the foundation of everything you are and everything you will become. It is your fortress, your sanctuary, your greatest treasure. But here's the problem. Most people give it away. They hand it over to strangers, to critics, to setbacks, to insults, to every passing storm. But not you. Not anymore. True strength is not about overpowering others. It is not about winning every argument. It is not about being louder, faster, or more aggressive. True strength is about mastering yourself. It is about remaining calm in the chaos. It is about being the eye of the storm. Imagine yourself as a fortress. Your walls are high. Your gates are strong. Inside, there is peace, calm, and clarity. But every time you allow someone's words to anger you, every time you let a setback crush your spirit, you open the gates. You invite chaos into your sanctuary. But what if you choose differently? What if you decided that your peace is sacred? That nothing and no one has the power to disturb it without your permission. Think about it. When someone insults you, do their words have the power to hurt you? Only if you allow them to. When life throws obstacles in your path, do they have the power to stop you? Only if you give up. Your peace is your choice. There is a story of a wise king who had a beautiful garden. One day, a storm destroyed the flowers. The trees were bent. The grass was torn from the soil. His servants rushed to the king, expecting him to be furious. But the king simply smiled. Your Majesty, your beautiful garden is ruined. They cried. The king nodded. Yes, but my peace is not. Storms come and go. Flowers can be replanted. Trees will grow again. But my peace is mine. No storm can take it away. This is how you must live. Understanding that peace is not found in the absence of problems. It is found in your decision to remain calm. No matter what happens, every day, you will be tested. Criticisms, rejections, disappointments, they will try to steal your peace. But you must protect it like a treasure, because when you lose your peace, you lose yourself. But this is not just about ignoring problems. It is about mastering them. It is about knowing that no matter what happens outside, nothing can touch the calm inside you. And here is the truth. The world will not respect those who cannot control themselves. A person who is easily angered, easily upset, easily discouraged, is like a leaf in the wind, blown in every direction, controlled by every breeze. But you must be different. You must be the mountain, unshakable, the fortress, strong and secure, the calm in the storm. How do you achieve this? By mastering your mind. Understand this. Every thought you allow into your mind is like a seed. Plant thoughts of anger, jealousy, of fear, and they will grow, taking over your mind, consuming your peace. But plant thoughts of strength, of gratitude, of calm, and they will become your fortress. When someone tries to insult you, pause. Remind yourself that their words are a reflection of them, not of you. When a problem rises, breathe. Understand that problems are not permanent. They are like passing clouds. They only stay as long as you allow them to. When you make a mistake, learn. But do not let guilt steal your peace. Forgive yourself and move forward. And when you succeed, stay humble. Do not let pride become a prison. Remember, peace is not about being above others. It is about being in control of yourself. So here is the ultimate lesson. Do not give your power away to anyone. Not to your critics, not to your doubts, not to your fears. Your peace is sacred. Guard it. Protect it. Because when you master your mind, you will master your life. You will become unstoppable. When life pushes you, you will stand firm. When storms rage around you, you will remain calm. When others try to pull you down, you will rise. This is your power. This is your strength. This is your peace. Make it sacred. Make it yours. If you found value in this video, remember to like, subscribe, and share. Because the strongest people are those who empower others, become unshakable, and you'll inspire those around you to do the same.